You know what's the role of advertising? The best advertising will make you curious so that we start thinking. And the world's best brands like Disney Resort, Kroger, one of the largest grocery store in the United States, and US Navy, and many others like big brands all over United States. You know what's the common between them? They all are a client of my today's guest. This is how good they are. So you want to stop every distraction right now, because you learn thing or two about advertising from my special guest today, and he is no other than CEO of Curiosity Advertising, Matt Fischer from Cincinnati, Ohio. And in a moment, we are going to ask a lot of questions. So you take your notes and let's learn together. In case you don't know me, my name is Mohammed Siddique. I am the host of a growth hacking show and the co-founder of New JV Genius and the co-author of New Success Secrets. Please join me to give a warm welcome to my special guest, CEO Matt Fischer. Matt, welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah, Matt, let me start with this. Where are you? What happened? Who you were surrounded with that inspired you to get into advertising?
Well, I would have to go all the way back to college, and I was in my sophomore year at DePaul University in Greencastle, Indiana, in a consumer psychology course. And I was a studio art major, and I always knew I liked art, and art came naturally to me, but I didn't know that I could make a career in it. So I was sitting there thinking about what should I do with my life, when they had a guest that day who was from an agency, Needham, Harper & Steers in Chicago. And he showed us 3 commercials that they had created to launch the brand Bud Light. So this is back in 1980. And it was an amazing experience. And they were great storytelling commercials. And whereas Miller Lite, their competition was taste great, less filling, Bud Light decided to use aging jocks who were still competitive. And so these were really fantastic emotional storytelling commercials. And it hit me like a thunderbolt. And I was like, this is what I want to do with my life. This is what I need to figure out how to do. So from that moment, I walked out of that class that day. I just focused on getting a job in advertising because I knew I wanted to make commercials. And a year and a half later, I got my first job at Needham, Harper & Steers in New York City. And as they say, the rest is history.
Yeah, thank you so much, Matt. I appreciate it. That's really amazing. So while you were sharing the story, I was reading your LinkedIn profile. In fact, the people who are watching this, they were reading it with me right now. So at this time, so I saw that you joined the company in 2010, and you kind of moved through the ladder to become a CEO recently. Congrats, 5 months ago as a CEO of the company now. And what was this kind of secret to help you to move through that different ladders in 8 years? Being a CEO of an advertising company is a big deal.
Yeah. So as we grew, we knew that we had to create more levels of management and be able to manage and scale that growth. So originally I was the president and chief creative officer, and eventually we got bigger and that became too much for me to do. So then we brought in, started a succession plan, if you will, of folks who we believe will live on the legacy of the company as my business partner and I start to get towards the end of our career. So that's when I elevated to the CEO and we hired a president, and then I moved to straight CEO when we hired a new chief creative officer. So it's been a natural progression, and the people that we've hired are fantastic and are doing a great job for us. So it's really just about knowing when it's time to get help and when to know that your role needs to change. And it's sort of going from that founder to a CEO as the business matures.
Oh, that's amazing. However, many people like to keep it to themselves. They never really feel that they're kind of growing with the age. So
it's hard to let go, but you have to in order to allow your business to grow. You can't keep a white knuckle grip on everything.
Wonderful, wonderful. So Matt, based on you work with so many brands, and of course your company is ever growing. Based on your experience, what are the top 3 missteps to avoid to grow your business? Because that's key.
Well, mine will be about me. So first of all is avoid pride in an industry which is really dictated by a lot of very big egos. And I think earlier in my career, I used to think that showing any kind of vulnerability was a weakness. And so I tried to have this tough persona, and I realized that that was actually not a good thing for me, and that the ability to show self-awareness and have the ability to have vulnerability and have empathy for others is actually a huge asset, especially as an owner of a company and a founder of a company. People spend a lot of time watching how you act and what you do, and I really learned that that can't have too much pride. The second thing I think is don't chase money or awards. Look for what the right opportunities are. And I think early in my career, I was very focused on how am I doing against my peers, and how am I making enough money? Am I winning enough awards and all those things? As I grew older, I figured out that I actually needed to change the priorities of that and be more concerned about those I work with and my clients and make them successful. And the more I focused on helping them be successful, actually the more successful I became, but it wasn't my priority anymore. And it actually made me feel good to be focused on helping other folks do the right thing. And I think that a lot of our success has come through, and my business partner is very similar way. We really like to focus on others' success. And when we do that, success finds us, and naturally it comes along. So I would say that's a key piece. And then the third one is don't assume you have all the answers, because this is a world where there's a lot of things are changing constantly. All of the models are changing. And so it's very easy to think that you have the answers. So I would say really become a strong listener, an active listener, and really be able to understand that the ideas are in front of you somewhere, but if you're not listening, you're not going to find them. And so being a really great listener also to the person that you're speaking to shows them that you are engaged and that you care about their feelings and their thoughts. And I guarantee you the right solutions are always going to be in that conversation somewhere.
Wonderful. That's amazing. In fact, I was so curious how you guys can become the Inc. 5000 2015, 16, 17, and 18, like a fastest growing privately held company. Now that tells me that why. Congratulations to you. So
yeah.
That was the line.
And we're very proud of that growth, because less than 4% or 3% of companies make it to 10 years as a startup. And so being able to demonstrate that kind of growth and do it in a very healthy and active way means that we've hired a lot of really great people that we can trust to do that work, and they're doing a fantastic job. So we continue to celebrate together those successes. And we obviously thank our clients too, who trust us and invest in us to help them be successful. So that's a tribute to a lot of really great people working together.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. So let's move on. So based on your company growing for almost like close to 10 years now, and you work with so many clients, so what are the top 3 success secrets to grow your business?
So first I would say is hire great people and get the hell out of the way. It's a very important piece of it, because what we do is we try to find really, really curious people. And my personal style is I hate micromanaging people. I feel like you need to set the right objectives and set the right measurement goals, but then let them do it the way that they are able to do it. And so I think don't micromanage. It's the worst thing you can do as a leader of a company, and the company will not be strong and it will not survive if everybody is always looking to the leader to make every decision. So you have to trust the people that you hire, and so make sure that you're finding those people. The second thing I would say is invest in training your staff. In the last several years, we have spent on average $150,000 a year training our staff in development, leadership, and new skill training. And I think it shows that our employees feel really engaged and that they have lots of opportunities here. And we're giving them those opportunities. And I've always found that if you have happy and engaged employees, you have happy and engaged clients, and they take care of those clients. And I feel like our clients, when they come in here, they feel that difference, that our staff likes working with each other, they like the challenges, and they like to improve themselves. And so giving folks that opportunity pays endless amount of dividends. And sometimes there's a hidden benefit, which you actually find the people who shouldn't be here, that are not going to grow and not going to be the folks that you want in the long term. And that's okay. You've invested money, but you found the right combination of people to continue to promote and continue to help grow the business. And then I'd say the third thing would be find life and work balance. And I didn't say work-life balance, I said life-work balance. And we believe very strongly here at Curiosity that we have to have a balance between those things, because we have a lot of young employees with families and they have needs and things that they need to do. But from my perspective is, we need people to come into work who are fresh and excited and happy to be here and well rested, because that's when they're going to be their most curious and creative selves. If you burn them out and they're tired, they're not going to be able to do that. And so once again, happy employees allow you to do lots of different things. And so we need to respect their time away from work. And we're a reflection of pop culture. So they need to be out at museums and at movies and at the stores. And if you've ever gone to Kroger and watched people shop, it's hilarious. And you really see human nature. And that's the sort of things that we need to be able to bring, that perspective we need to be able to bring to our clients. So again, we want them out in the world, participating, enjoying things. And then when they come here, we know we have 100% of their heart.
Thank you, Matt. That tells me why you are different, because you say we are a little different and we like it that way. And you say, once I start reading that, I say, we are on the mission to kill advertising, by being a smart, bold, and efficient in everything we do. So is that really a statement, or is it really kind of core philosophy of your company?
Yeah, so we've recognized that over the past few years, there's a lot of big holding companies, and they're making decisions that are not necessarily the best ones for their clients. And there's been issues around a lack of transparency, and there's been, our marketers losing faith in actually advertising and going to market. And we want to change that perception by doing things the right way. And helping our clients understand that we're going to be completely transparent. We're going to do the work that's always in their best interest first. And then if they grow, we'll grow. And so we want to kill all the negative aspects about advertising and really bring back to what's exciting about the business is helping consumers care about your products.
But that's the key part, because you really care about your client successes, So hopefully I have a question to ask something which is kind of personal to you, how you can keep going in your business. I love the philosophy. Business, it doesn't matter how we say it. However, business is a roller coaster. Sometimes it's up and sometimes it's down. And what keeps you going when you're in a down moment? Because many thought leaders and entrepreneurs and founders who are watching this, they can probably learn a thing or two, because we all have a down moment in our lives.
So I always say this, and it's something that my grandmother used to say to me all the time. And she used to say, it's never as good or as bad as you think it is. And so when I think that things are happening and I'm not sure they're good or bad, it's our natural reaction for the fight or flight and survival, as we want to label things as good or bad in the moment. And I choose to take the longer road. And usually what I do is I say, this may not be a bad thing. This may be a good thing in the long term. We just don't know that yet. Or what we think is really great may not turn out to be that way. So I try to take a philosophical approach of, there's so much in my world that I cannot control, that I'm not going to worry about that. And then the other side of it is, what energizes me is I love being around people. So I get out and I talk to people, and whether it's in the company or outside the company, I just try to understand what's happening. And I really get a lot of energy from that. And then I honestly read about 60 books a year, and I listen on Audible to a lot. I used to listen to ESPN on the radio in my car, and I realized that was a waste of time, where I can listen to 2 books a week as I drive around and do my things. I work out in the morning, I listen to an audiobook. I walk my dog, I listen to a book, or I read books at night before I go to bed. And I read all sorts of books, from fiction to business books to history books. because to me, the continuous process of learning and being a curious person gives you that energy to fight through even the times when you're unsure or you're not completely confident that you have the answer.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I learned from the guests like you, so that I'm experienced learner because I want to learn from the other people's experiences, mistakes, and success secrets. So Matt, how you're growing your company right now?
So we're doing a couple things. So first of all, what we want to do is that development of our current employees, that is very important. And then hiring as we grow, hiring our new staff and making sure that they're strategically curious and that we drill that into it and we get them integrated into our culture as quickly as we can. And so that's a very important part of that. And then we're also looking at business verticals where we think we have a right to win in new business, because either we have great experience and we think that we have a right to win in that space. And then last but not least, it's really about organic growth. The easiest growth is your existing customers. And if we take good care of them and we help them grow and we do the right things for them and they're successful, they'll continue to invest in the advertising and the marketing, which means they're investing in us. And that means we will grow and be successful. So the organic growth is absolutely a focus for us, and it's easy, and it's actually a sign of a healthy company. When you're seeing organic growth, it's one of the metrics I look at as the CEO, is how much are we naturally gaining from our existing customers? Because if we're not, that's usually a sign that you've got a canary in the coal mine problem that you have to go take a look at. So, but we try to keep it pretty simple in terms of, and then it's the relationships that you have in the world, the people that you meet. They introduce us to people or clients that we have leave the company that they're with and they go to another company and they call us up and say, hey, we want to work with you in this new place. And that's a really positive sign and a happy sign that we're doing the right things.
Oh, that's amazing. It's a great philosophy, the KISS formula. Keep it so simple, So how the growth hacking show community can support you, people who are watching this, how they can support you?
Well, if what you've heard about curiosity sounds like something that you need for your company, you can go to our website or you can link into me and we can further the conversation. So always happy to talk to people and help them. As well as maybe you'll be in a conversation at a dinner party and somebody's saying, I need to find an agency. And you say, yeah, I heard about this really great place called Curiosity. So like I said, word of mouth is a great tool for us, and always interested in meeting interesting, curious people.
Definitely. So now you're curious enough after watching my guest today. Go ahead and connect with Matt Fischer on LinkedIn at least, and go on the website, visit, and click on the contact us button. And I'm sure there's a form to fill or contact them where you want it. Because you really want the advertising. Advertising will make your clients curious about your company. That's the key part, because without somebody, until they're curious about you or about your products and services, nothing happens. That's the first step. And advertising take care of all that one. Matt, as we are about to wrap up, what would you say as a final word?
Well, I want to thank you. This is a great opportunity to talk to you and consider you a new friend. So thank you very much for this opportunity. And to everybody out there, I'd just say be very curious and be courageous and make decisions that are going to help your customers really understand who you are. And don't be afraid to partner with agencies that can help you do that. So thank you very much.
Wonderful message. Always be curious. Thank you so much, Matt, for sharing your wisdom with us today. On the behalf of Growth Hacking Show community and our entire team, we really appreciate you. This is Mohammed Siddique signing off from Atlanta. Wishing you good luck, good sales. I do our podcast again with another amazing guest. Until then, all best wishes.